The thing about UFC fights is, I don't want to sound like a hater. I don't want to sound like a hater, man. I really don't want to sound like a hater right now. And I'm trying to show respect to Aldana, to Irene Aldana. I really want to show her respect. I think she deserves respect. Title shot. She probably deserves a title shot, even though, does she even really deserve the title shot though? Like, let's actually really think about that, because Aldana fought Macy Chiasson. She beat her. And then before that, she beat Yana Kunitskaya. And Yana Kunitskaya is on like a 2-fight losing streak. Macy Chiasson, I don't really see the point. Like, what does that do? I would like to see her fight Holly for a title shot. Or even... But the problem with Holly is that Holly might actually beat her. That's the problem, you see, because if Holly was to fight Irene, then Irene would no longer fight Amanda, because that would be a number one contender fight. The UFC didn't do that because they understood that we need a fresh new person to fight for the... Bro, it's also... You understand, fighting, it's not just about the fight and the actual fight that happens in the octagon. Everything leading up to it is also part of the process, because there's also politics too. There's also politics in this game, because it's not just about how good you are as a fighter and your win streak and how many fights you win. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. The UFC is about how many people can you... Well, to a certain extent... Actually, I take that back. To a certain extent, it is about your ability to beat certain fighters, because you have to win some fights to get some notoriety, to get traction, to get hype, to get a title shot. But the UFC only hypes certain fighters and promotes certain fighters that they feel like are going to get the biggest pay-per-view numbers. Now, let me give you guys some examples. Like, I'll veer away from the Aldana story just a little bit to kind of set the stage for what I'm talking about and kind of explain my point. I'm going to go over to the bantamweights in the UFC. Now, let's look at who's the champion in the UFC bantamweight division. Aljamain Sterling. He's going to be fighting Sean O'Malley in August of this year for the title shot. You know, Sean O'Malley, who did he beat? He beat Piotr Jan in his recent fight. That's not... He beat Piotr Jan in his last fight, right? Sean O'Malley, right? And Sean O'Malley, he's coming off of beating... Yeah, he's on a few win streak, but the other guys that he beat are not even ranked. And then he eye-poked the guy. Okay, so his title shot is not necessarily because he deserves it. It's more so because the UFC wants him to win the title. They want him to become the champion, so they're giving him that title shot. And they were kind of... And you see the politics of how they made him fight Henry Cejudo? They gave him a tough matchup because they wanted him to lose to Henry. The plan was for him to lose to Henry, and then for Henry to fight Sean, because then Sean and Henry, that's a stylistically good matchup, because Henry's not a high-level BJJ fighter. He can obviously fight at a high level. He has jiu-jitsu. But he's not the submission threat that Aljamain Sterling is. So the UFC wanted him to fight Henry so that he could beat Henry and become the champion, so they can push him to the top, and then he can become the champion, and then he can get more pay-per-views. You see the politics of the game? It's not about how good you are, who you beat, or how many people you beat. It's about how many people you can bring to the show to watch the fights. It's not about how good you are, man. To a certain extent it is, but it's not really about that in the big picture, because if it was about that, Islam Makhachev would have got a title shot way long ago. Khabib would have got a title shot long ago. Leon Edwards would have got a title shot long ago. It's not about who you beat or how good you are. That's just sad, man, but that's just how it is, you know? And now let's go back to Aldana. She's not gonna win that fight. I don't know, man. I kind of agree with the UFC giving her a title shot, man. I kind of changed my mind, because who else is gonna get the title shot? Pena's injured. She was gonna get the title shot first, but she's injured. And I kind of... A lot of people were saying that Aldana should get the title shot, actually. A lot of UFC fans were saying Aldana should get the official narrative is that Aldana deserves the title shot more than Pena, but based on what? Okay, there's another girl that's out there in the wings. Raquel Pennington. Yeah. And I don't think Aldana would get through Raquel Pennington. I don't think Aldana would get through Juliana Pena. I don't think Aldana would get through Holly Holm. So to give her a title shot based on what though? Like she's got 2 wins in the UFC. Like she's on a 2-fight win streak. Is she on a 2-fight win streak or is it longer than that? Because she beat Macy Chiasson and then she beat the other chick before her. She beat Yana Santos, whatever. She beat that chick, knocked her out. And I think before that she knocked out what's her face? Ketlin Vieira, right? Yeah. Sure, man. Just throw her a bone, give her a title shot. That's probably how Dana thinks, right? But damn, man, like, what do you think she's getting paid for this fight? 100 and 100, 100 and 100, 100K to show and 100K to fight, or is she getting paid 60 to show and 60 to win? I doubt she's getting paid more than 100K. Yeah, it's nothing though, really. If you really look at the, obviously for me that's a lot of money, but if you look at the contrast, she's a UFC fighter. Like, I don't know, man. The UFC fighter pay is just weird, man. Like I remember watching Curtis Blades, and when he got knocked out and concussed by Pavlovich, and he was getting 50 and 50, 50K to show and 50K to win. It's nothing. And if you lose the fight, you only get 50K. And then you got to pay 10% to your coach. You got to pay 10% to your manager. Then you got to pay the camp fees. Then you got to pay taxes. And then you got to pay for all of your living expenses and everything like that, and organic food and this and that and this and that, rent, blah, 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 utilities. And you have family on top of that. Oh my God. Oh my God. You have nothing left. That's how the UFC works, man. It's crazy. I really don't think Aldana deserves a title shot. Like, I mean, I'd give her a title shot, but I think she should beat Pennington or Pena first. But she's getting the title shot. What's my prediction for the fight? It's coming up on Saturday, right? Am I gonna bet on it? Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put some money on Aldana. Not Aldana. Nah, I'm gonna put 10 euros on Aldana for a goof. Like, I don't think she's actually gonna submit her. So I'm gonna put 10 on a submission, 10 on a knockout. The money line is like 4-1, so it's not really like. No, actually, it's not 4-1. It's 3.45 now. The money line's kind of changed. Aldana's a 3-1 underdog. Before she was a 4-1 underdog. When the opening betting lines, she was a 4-1 underdog. Now she's a 3.45 underdog, which means, let me explain it to you people that don't bet. It means that more action came in on Aldana. So more people bet on Aldana to win, which means that the lines are gonna narrow out. Like they're gonna close in. They're gonna start to get closer. For example, if more people bet on Aldana, then the betting lines for Amanda are gonna go up. She's gonna go up from what is she now? 1.2. So if more people bet on Aldana, then her numbers are gonna go down. They're gonna go down because she's still in the plus range, right? And Amanda's in the minus range, which means that every time that people bet on, but if people bet on Amanda, then the numbers for Aldana are gonna go up. But if people bet on, you guys understand? I kind of explained it for you guys. So what am I gonna? I'm probably gonna. Most of my money is gonna be on Amanda by decision or submission. Hopefully, she doesn't get a knockout. Hopefully she doesn't get a knock. Yeah, because the money line is not really worth it. It's like 1.2. Like, not really much. But like, if you put 100 on there, then you get 20 euros. You win 20 euros. Yeah. If you put 100 on on Amanda, then you win 120. But if you put 100 on Aldana, you win 345 euros. Which means that Aldana would be a better bet. There would be more value if you actually think Aldana's going to win. But Aldana's not going to win, in my opinion. I don't see it. I know. People are going to say in the comments, oh, you said the same thing about Alexa Grasso. Oh, my God. But Alexa Grasso is a completely different style. Like, Aldana's more of a striker. I mean, also, I'm willing to concede that Alexa Grasso is a striker also. But the wrinkles in her style are more developed. Like, she has a much better jiu-jitsu style. She's got a much more... The only thing Aldana has is an armbar. That's it. That's all she has. On the ground, that's all she has. An armbar, possibly an omoplata. That's it. That's all she really has, right? An armbar and an omoplata. She doesn't really have any chokes. Like, she's not really as good as Irene could choke or anything like that. Honestly, all she really has is an armbar. Let's be fucking real here. That's all Aldana has, is an armbar. And all she has, you know, she's very good conventional or southpaw on the feet. She's got very good kicks. She's very, very good on the touch. Like, she touches and then she goes back and then she kind of reads her opponent, moves into rhythm. But I think Amanda probably just takes her down multiple times and just smashes her. You know, honestly, I don't think she's gonna beat her in any way. I think a decision or a knockout or a submission. She could beat her in any way. Honestly, she could beat her in any like, she could beat her submission. She could beat her 5 rounds decision. She could knock her out. But the only path to victory for Aldana is a knockout, right? A knockout. That's it. All Aldana has is a puncher's chance, bro. That's it. I'm telling you, bro. All she has is a puncher's chance. It's crazy. I'm out, peace.